Good afternoon, good evening rather. Welcome to the reality show, a program of the Bahamas Pan-African National Congress and sponsored by the Hannah & Johnson Law Firm and by Ali Glass. Tonight we are continuing our discussion with Brother Ali I cut him off so rudely last week. But just before we start, I want to say a little bit about what this program is all about, so you could be on the same page with us. This program is not about trying to bring anybody down. This program is about empowering, and in knowledge there's empowerment. So we wanted to share in this program knowledge from our ancestors, the knowledge of our experiences as a people. And the Bahamas Pan-African Congress, the mission of the Congress is to make sure that when our people make decisions, it's informed decisions, not knee-jerk reactions. Tonight, good evening, Brother Ali.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back again. And you know, last week I cut you off, and you were just in mid-flow. You were talking about youth and the impact of the church, and I want to let you go right on and where you were in. I know it's hard to pick it up, but if you could just break it down for us again.
Yeah. Well, let me say, since you talked about the Bahama Pan-African Congress, I'm a part of that.
Yes, sir.
Because I see a direction that we as a people must turn to go in. After all, most things that we have been a part of have failed, or we've burned out, we've gotten disgusted. And there must be a reason why we're so frustrated about our very own future. So that's one of my reasons why I joined you in being a part of the Congress. We spoke where we were last week. We were talking about basically what was happening around us. And we tend to blame young men or a younger generation. But in my humble opinion, we have not given them the light that they need to shine in the darkness around them. We have not set the example that we ought to set for them to follow. We talk about them and not to them. And when you are able to get so many people, young and old, on Sunday morning in church, it's like now that you have the flock together, what better time to really inject them or to do whatever it is that you must do so that you can bring about a transformation. I don't see that happening in the church.
So do you think the church is in need of a revolution then?
Yeah, it needs
transformation
to make the transformation.
To become relevant to our society.
Exactly, because what I'm trying to say, there are churches with 60-year-old boys trying to be men. And they cannot talk to young men about what they're doing wrong, because these 60-year-old boys are continuing to do the same thing. They have not set example for these young men. In talking to them, there are many young men who would only like, they're not looking for anything from a father figure. They just want to know who their fathers are. You understand? Mothers, how they say, mother's child, but father's maybe. Have you ever heard the expression? And I think more of us need to own up to what we have made.
So fatherhood is really important.
Very important when you talk to a lot of young men. Now, in church, I have spoken to church members, and they would ask me what church I go to. And of course, I don't know if I should be ashamed to say, but I don't attend church. For the simple reasons that if I'm going to a club, maybe in my blue jeans here, there's a dress code. Church has no dress code.
The church doesn't have a dress code?
Not that I know of.
But they seem to dress up a lot.
Well, I mean, to me, they're wearing some of the same clothes that they had on at the nightclub last night.
Okay, I'm with you.
Or they're coming from the nightclub to go to the church.
Okay.
When you go to listen a lecture, or, Brother Hannah, maybe what we should do is to get lectures from different churches. And let's invite a cadre of people to sit down and let's look at these lectures and ask each one, what have you learned? If you were in church and you listened to this, what have you learned as an individual? And you will see that we are talking about things that are not relevant to life today.
But Brother Ali, you had started to say something last week, and I want you to perhaps delve a little deeper into that. You were talking about historical function that the church has had traditionally in racism and in the exploitation of the African people. And there's I'm going to put a case scenario to you that's historical. Back in the time when Columbus discovered the Bahamas, or he didn't discover it, he discovered independent nation, a sovereign people, and he kidnapped and raped and murdered them. But when he came here, he met some dark-skinned people. His first lie was that they were lighter than him and they were blonde and blue-eyed. Then he also lied, people he had never met, the Caribs, and he accused them of being cannibals and savages. Now, you know, they decimated the native people of this country. They stole their land, they raped their women, and they killed them out with chicken pox and whatever diseases that they brought with them across from Europe.